In the quiet alleys of apathy's realm, where shadows guard the indifferent helm, we find ourselves lost in a world where indifference is the reigning monarch, a kingdom shrouded in the gloom of nonchalance. This is a realm where apathy, an uncaring spectre, stands firm at the helm, navigating its subjects through seas of unconcern. Here, silence is not golden, but a chain that binds and stifles the voice of truth. In this realm, the alleys are quiet, not with peace, but with the unsettling hush of those who choose to look away, to remain silent in the face of untruth. The shadows that loom are not mere lack of light, but a metaphorical representation of the unspoken, the overlooked, the ignored. They stand guard, a protective shield for indifference, harboring the helm of apathy, steering us away from the path of truth, justice, and righteousness. The question we pose today is not just for the silent, but for all who dwell in this realm. To those who have witnessed untruth, to those who have heard lies parading as truth, we ask, is your silence, your muteness, the oppressor's root? Is your decision to remain indifferent, to refrain from speaking the truth, enabling the oppressor, the liar, the wrongdoer? The echo of this question reverberates in the silent alleyways, bouncing off the shadowy walls of apathy's realm, seeking an answer. It is a call, a plea for introspection, a challenge to break free from the chains of silence and indifference. It is a reminder that each one of us has a role to play, a responsibility to uphold, a duty to speak up, to stand up for what is right, for what is true. In the quiet alleys of apathy's realm, where shadows guard the indifferent helm, we find ourselves standing at a crossroads. One path leads to continued silence, the other to a voice raised in truth. So, we ask once more, is your muteness the oppressor's root? Stand not in shadows, silent and grave, we urge you, as we delve into the masquerade of indifference. This is a dance where silence waltzes with inaction, and where the music of truth is muted by the humdrum of everyday life. Yet, it is here, in this seemingly innocuous masquerade, that the greatest of injustices find shelter. Envision the lies that parade in the light of day, emboldened by the lack of challenge. They strut with confidence, their falsehoods unmasked, yet unopposed. They are the jesters in this masquerade, their antics distorting reality, their laughter drowning out the whispers of truth. Yet you are not merely a spectator in this dance, you are a participant whether you acknowledge it or not. Every step you take, every beat you miss, contributes to the rhythm of this dance. Your silence, your indifference is the stage upon which these jesters perform. The danger of this masquerade lies not just in the lies that are told, but in the truths that are withheld. Every time you choose to remain silent, when you have the power to speak, you aid in weaving the veil of deceit. Your silence becomes the oppressor's cloak, the liar's mask, the corrupt's shield. But remember, just as silence can conceal, so can it reveal. Just as it can smother, so can it echo. Your voice has the power to shatter this masquerade, to expose the lies and illuminate the truth. You hold the key to end this dance of deceit. So, let your voice rise above the din. Let your truths echo in the halls of silence. Do not let your words be mere whispers in the wind, but let them be the gale that disrupts the masquerade. In the face of lies, let your truths stand tall. In the face of injustice, let your voice be heard. For in the masquerade of indifference, your silence is not just a dance step, it is a choice. And it is a choice that can spell the difference between truth and deceit, justice and injustice, freedom and oppression. Let not your truths be far away. 7 echoes fade in the hush of the crowd, a hush that blankets the scene with an eerie tranquility. Picture a chorus, a multitude of voices, standing silently on the stage of life, their voices muted by the oppressive hand of indifference. They are the witnesses, the watchers, the ones who see and yet remain silent. Their silence reverberates louder than the cacophony of lies that fills the air. They are the silent chorus, their inaction allowing injustice to reign unchallenged. Each voice in this chorus holds a unique melody, a truth untold. Yet they remain silent, their truths drowned in the sea of apathy. It's a silence that feeds the beast of falsehood, bolstering its strength, allowing it to strut, unabashed in the light of day. This silence, this tacit approval, is the oppressor's greatest ally. It's a silence that echoes through the annals of time, reverberating the same haunting tune of indifference and apathy. But imagine, if you will, if this silent chorus found its voice. Imagine the power of truth breaking through the shroud of silence, shattering the walls of deceit. Imagine the echoes of truth ringing loud and clear, drowning the lies with their resonating might. This is not a mere flight of fancy, but a call to action, a call to each and every witness to find their voice, to join the chorus not in silence, but in a symphony of truth. Dare to bring forth your voice from the shadows of silence. Let it rise, let it echo, let it shatter the oppressive silence. It's not just about speaking up, it's about speaking out, speaking against the injustice that thrives in the silence. It's about standing up and saying, no more. Your voice, your truth, has the power to change the narrative, to tilt the scales in favor of justice. It's time to step out of the shadows, to break free from the chains of silence. Let your words shatter silence true. Each silent moment a tacit consent, we begin. The quietness, the stillness, the absence of voice when wrongs are being committed, all these are not signs of neutrality, but rather they are the silent nods of approval for the oppressor. These silent moments, they are the unspoken permissions, the tacit consents that allow the wheel of injustice to keep turning. Every time we stand as onlookers to an act of wrongdoing, every time we turn a blind eye to the misdeeds around us, we are not just silent spectators. We are participants, we are complicit. We are the ones who, through our silence, are giving consent to the acts of oppression, to the spread of lies, to the reign of injustice. Is it not time that we think about this? Is it not time that we question ourselves, question our silence? Is it not time that we realize the power of our voice, the power of our convictions? Our silence is not just a void. It is filled with the echoes of the cries for justice that we choose to ignore. It is filled with the whispers of our conscience that we choose to suppress. It is filled with the tacit consents that we give out, one silent moment at a time. But let's remember, every moment is also an opportunity. Every moment is a chance to let our convictions ascend. Every moment is a chance to break the silence, to raise our voice, to stand for what's right. Every moment is a chance to break the chain of tacit consent, to stop the wheel of injustice from turning. Let this be our call to action. Let this be our wake-up call. Let us not just be the silent spectators, but the active participants in the fight against injustice. Let us not just be the ones who give tacit consent, but the ones who actively dissent. And so, we come to this. In the face of lies, let silence end. Let us not be silent anymore. Let us raise our voices. Let us stand for truth, for justice, for what's right. For in the end, it's not the voice of our enemies, but the silence of our friends that truly hurts. Oh, watchers with eyes that have seen, begins our clarion call. You who have watched the veiled acts and the might-have-beens, it's time to turn your gaze into a call of action, a call that echoes through the silent corridors of apathy, a call that shatters the masquerade of indifference. Your silence, once a shield, now becomes a sword, striking through the heart of untruth. Your witnessing becomes your testimony, your gaze a beacon of truth. Your eyes have seen the hidden acts and the possibilities left unexplored, yet your voice remains hushed, but no more. Let your gaze transform into a clarion call, a call that rings out loud and clear, slicing through the still air, breaking the chains of silence. A call that sings the song of justice, of truth and of action. A call that demands no less than the highest virtue, for justice and truth above all. In the wake of voices raised and shown, we find ourselves navigating a path of enlightenment. When the whispers of dissent grow into a chorus of truth, the shroud of deceit is torn asunder, making way for the emergence of truth. Each word spoken, each voice heard becomes a beacon, a guiding light that pierces through the darkness of apathy and indifference. This is not merely a fight against silence, but a battle for justice. Every spoken word is a declaration, a proclamation that we will not be complicit in the propagation of falsehoods. Each utterance, a brave stride towards a world where truth reigns supreme. In this symphony of voices, in this cacophony of truth, we find justice. In the face of lies, we let silence end and let our voices ring out, clear and resolute. We stand united, echoing the call for justice. Against the silence, justice clear. In the quiet alleys of apathy's realm, we conclude our journey, a journey that has wound its way through silent corridors and indifferent masquerades. We've seen the silent chorus, witnessed the tacit consent, and heard the clarion call. Remember, dear listeners, your silence is not just an absence of noise. It is a choice, a decision that shapes the world around us. It is a veil that masks the true face of injustice, a cloak that shields the oppressor. But you hold the power to tear it away, to expose the lies and reveal the truth. Do not be mere spectators in this grand theatre of life. Stand up, speak out, and let your voice echo in the halls of indifference. You are the witnesses, the guardians of truth and justice. Speak now, O witness, let your voice shatter the silence, for in every spoken word there is a fight so dear, against the silence, justice clear.